a margarita, and a Bloody Mary. 1 beer, 2 beers, 3 beers, a shot of whiskey.
Welcome to another night of Beyond the Ropes. I'm Randizzo. I'm Randizzo, aka Randy. To my left are two guys. And his name is Retro Relapse. aka the old man Nando. aka Retro Relapse. And another special guest
is Just Draven.
Just Draven. Another Make-A-Wish appearance.
Another Make-A-Wish.
Canceled on mine.
It might be a good thing he did cancel on your Make-A-Wish, wish, actually. But today, this is part 2 of what we did last Tuesday, where we drafted 10 superstars each, or 10 wrestlers, or 10, whatever you want to call them, athletes. And then we were tasked with the idea of creating our own PLE pay-per-view card, our own company, whatever name you want to come up with, whatever matches you want to have. And we're going to break down the list of who we chose. And then right when we're done breaking down the list of each, we'll each give our 10 wrestlers that we picked. And then we'll start off with Draven, since he got number 1 last week. I'll go second. And because random.org fucked Fernando, he will go third. But to kick it off,
don't invest in that website.
No, don't invest in that website. But to kick it off, Just Draven, who are your 10 wrestlers that you chose last week?
You see the list?
Oh yeah. So my 10 guys, I had Gunther, probably my favorite wrestler right now, currently. MJF, Obafemi, Penta, Takeshita, the OTC, Roman Reigns, Asuka, Timeless Tony Storm, Braun Breaker, and Tommaso Ciampa.
A strong pick for 10 wrestlers. I will go next. I picked AJ Styles, Swerve Strickland, Jacob Fatu, Josh Alexander, Kenny Omega, Nick Nemeth, Kevin Owens, The Miz, Hangman Adam Page, and Adam Cole Bebe. Boom.
And I guess it's my turn, and my list of my pro wrestling superstar pro wrestlers: Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, Okada, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, LA Knight, Jamie Hayter, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, and Mariah May.
Nice. So now we're going to go in that order, where Draven's going to present his company name, his pay-per-view name, and his match cards for that PLE pay-per-view. So go ahead, Draven, kick us off. Just Draven giving his pay-per-view.
All right. So you want the name of the company and all that first? Or
Yes, sir.
All right. So the name of my fantasy wrestling company is called Doom Wrestling Federation. And my pay-per-view name, So my
DWF, my bad.
My pay-per-view name is Overkill. Yeah. So
Nice.
The opening match on my card is going to be my generation's Goldberg, Braun Breaker, versus the best heel we've had in generations, probably MJF. And for me, I think that MJF would come out on top in this match. Um, so then we can explain that here in a minute. But my next match is actually going to be an Iron Woman match between Asuka and Timeless Tony Storm. And I don't know. I don't know if I would catch heat for this, but I think the winner of this match would be Timeless Tony Storm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so jump into the next one. I have the OTC Roman Reigns versus probably one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, Takeshita. I think this match would tear the roof off the place, given both their size and styles. My next one is actually a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Who was the winner of that last one?
Oh, last one. I'm sorry. Yeah, I gave y'all a cliffhanger on that one. But the between Roman Reigns and Takeshita, I chose the OTC Roman Reigns. For my next one, I got a Falls Count Anywhere match. This one's going to be Penta versus Tommaso Ciampa. And I think that this one is a little bit of a swerve here. I am choosing the winner as Tommaso Ciampa.
Nice.
And for my main event, it's going to be the Ring General Gunther versus Oba Femi. And I'm choosing the winner there. And I took a while to think about this one. Kind of wanted to go with a little bit more of a swerve, but I think I'm going to give the win to Gunther.
Nice. I think that's a pretty strong card for the wrestlers you had. And I think all those matchups I could see happening. They kind of play well with each other. I especially like the first match. I think that one could be a barn burner, essentially. MJF, like, you just don't know what you're going to get from him. So I digress. Like, that's a pretty damn good card. I like OTC and that match with Braun. Who was it with again? I'm sorry.
Roman Reigns and Takeshita.
Takeshita. Like, that one I would have leaned towards Takeshita only because I think he is very underrated and he's a big boy. Like, that guy can take some punishment, but at the end of the day, like, hey, dude, you're a day one. I'm a day one ish. I'm not a day one Roman guy, But I think that's a damn good card. I liked it. Fern, thoughts?
Hey man, I'm in it to win it. I want to watch it. I want to see what's going on, man. This one has my attention.
You know what we have to do now? Here's the swerve ball. I'm gonna John Cena kick you in the balls right now. I need to see fucking figure photography. I'm just playing. Need some figure photography to go along with this show, so we can place the images on later on in post. But out of these 5 matches that you came up with, Draven, for your, say your name, the DWF, it was Doom Wrestling Federation?
Yeah. Yep, the Doom Wrestling Federation.
Out of those 5 matches, if you went to go see this pay-per-view, which one do you look forward to the most? In your opinion, like, you came up with this card, obviously, but who would you say, damn, this is what I want to see for sure? Any match to you that you made stick out to your own head? Like, this is what I'd go fucking pay money to see?
I'm kind of stuck between a couple of them. So I think the one that stands out to me the most is probably the Iron Woman match with Asuka and Toni Storm. I think for the technicality of it, for like the theater of it and everything, I think that match would just be like, that's just like for my personal taste, I think that match would tear the roof off, man. I think that would steal the show. I'm also kind of stuck between MJF and Braun Breaker. Just for like the simple fact of like the character work, I think MJF could run circles around Braun Breaker as far as promos, but I think Braun Breaker would surprise a lot of people with his ability to hang with MJF in the ring. I think he still has some work to do before he's on the same level as MJF. But I mean, I think he's kind of going there. I honestly can see Braun Breaker as one of like the next faces of the company. That's not to say he's like my favorite wrestler or anything. It's just I think he just has those tools, and I think it's really easy to put him in that light on screen, just because of his intensity. And it looks cool on TV when he's like sprinting at I don't know how many miles an hour, spearing the shit out of people. I think that's entertainment, and I think people are going to buy tickets for that.
Nice.
Yeah, so
I think I'd pay money to see MJF and Braun Breaker and Takeshita and Roman Reigns. I thought those two really matches really stuck out to me. I would have really put MJF and Braun Breaker as my main event. I thought but it's a damn good card. And hey, you start to show off real fucking hot, right? Just give people the shit talking and the action to back it up. So I like it. Yeah. What do you think about the card, Fern?
I'm in it to win it. I want to watch it.
So he wasn't paying attention. That's what that means.
I really want to see Penta and Tommaso Ciampa.
Nice.
Because that seems like a good heavy hitting match. Because Ciampa doesn't look like a person that could go in a sense with someone like Penta, but they're both heavy hitters. And Ciampa can actually float around the ring a little bit. He undersells a lot of what he does in his wrestling. So it'd be nice to see some of him bring out some of the NXT stuff that he used to do. And in indie stuff with Penta, knowing that we know what Penta can do. Penta is a very established wrestler, and not only just the master of his lucha style, but also is a good mat wrestler and can fly around the ring a bit too. So to see some of the things, I would love to see both of them Canadian destroy the shit out of each other.
Yeah, that'd be badass.
So to really say that I wasn't paying attention, you can kiss my rear end.
You know what? I'm going to Cody Rhodes you and say, go fuck yourself.
Is that where we're going with this now?
Well, we're not in the PG era now, so I guess we're taking it up a notch a little bit. But
don't make me Travis Scott Raid Sage you. All right.
And then slap you in the face. What the fuck?
Yeah. You saw the clip where he smacked the shit out of Cody Rhodes.
I think one of his rings cut Cody Rhodes in the face, and Cody Rhodes looked kind of pissed off. Like he was shooting piss. He would shoot piss.
That's the danger of having like a celebrity on. It's I think The Rock said something about it on the press conference. He said like that he told Travis like, hey, like you want to get your hands bloody or whatever, like you can kind of get aggressive, but I guess he got too aggressive because he smacked the face of the company right in the face. Too hard.
Yeah.
And I think, hopefully he gets a receipt for that, just like as a welcome to the business kind of thing.
I think, hey, remember, he does have that hardcore championship. He might get his ass beat for it, to be honest with you. Yeah. So, hey, he might catch a receipt.
Because if we're going to have Travis Scott at WrestleMania, he needs a receipt for that. He needs to take a bump. So
I think so. If he can just do a little Bad Bunny, get his ass whipped a little bit, hey. To make up for what he did, right? You gotta pay your dues to be able to slap someone in the fucking face like that. Yeah. No matter how famous you are, it doesn't matter. But
doesn't matter.
I digress. I will go next. This my wrestling company name is an ode to where my parents and I grew up. Where I grew up, my parents live currently. My company is called Lone Star Wrestling. Oh, and I hear the Lone Star cracking in the background. I will say, there you go. It's a Lone Star in that cooler, but that's what we'll say. My pay-per-view is called. We're gonna stick Texas theme. It's Battle at the Alamo. This isn't. I'm gonna give you a fair warning. This is an all gimmick match. All gimmicks, all day. Okay. It actually takes place, and I'm gonna give a little extra just because I'm extra sometimes. This takes place outside in the pavilion of the Alamo. Live show right in the middle of this little fort right in downtown San Antonio, right by the Riverwalk. So my first match I'm calling it the Lone Star Brawl. Pretty much a no holds bar match. And it's between Kevin Owens and Swerve Strickland. On this match, this is a back and forth match, but I'm ultimately going to say that Swerve Strickland would have won this match because I can see how far he's willing to go and how far he's willing to push his body. Obviously, you've seen it in recent matches with Kevin Owens, so he's willing what he's willing to do and how far he will take it. Also, that's why I put them together. I think they come out with a banger to start the fucking night off with some hell raising right there. My second match is a bull rope match, and this is a callback from a couple of years. This is The Miz versus Nick Nemeth. Because they both can sell, and you add a bull rope with a cowbell at the end, I think anyone who got hit, whether it was The Miz or Nick Nemeth, would sell the fuck out of this match, hitting the four corners of the pillars. This one, I'm going to give it to The Miz because he's fucking a snake. He's underhanding, and he's willing to do whatever it takes. Cheat to win. It doesn't matter. Eddie Guerrero style. So my next match, it's a Texas death match. Right in the middle of the card. It's between Adam Cole, baby, versus Adam Hangman Page. Cowboy shit. So again, I think, if you've seen the indies or you've seen Ring of Honor, you've seen these two guys go. I think, again, people don't give credit to Adam Cole and how good of a wrestler he really is. He hasn't really been able to show it in WWE. He did a little bit in NXT Black and Gold, and Adam Page, he can also go. You've seen him in plenty of death matches in AEW. So I'm going to give this one to actually Adam Cole. I want to let him go over. I think he has the capability, and I would like to see him do what is it called? What is his move called, Fern? The
Panama Sunrise.
Panama Sunrise on a table, a chair, whatever. I think you do it on a group of 4 chairs and end up winning the match.
What's the other move? He's got the other move where he hits him in the back of the head with the elbow.
Or the Shining Wizard.
The Shining Wizard,
it's
yeah.
not called Shining Wizard.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
What is it called?
I don't know what it's called off the top of my head.
What about
Yeah.
a Panama Sunrise on some thumbtacks?
There you go. So you see, it's a Texas death match. It
Panama
can be whatever you
Sunrise
want.
on an open bed of Legos.
Ooh, even more extreme. My next match. This is a work rate match. This is 2 out of 3 falls. Go ahead.
Your death match isn't an exploding barbed wire death match?
No. I don't want the little fireworks to pop off. This is a work rate match. This is a 2 out of 3 falls, and this is between the phenomenal AJ Styles versus the walking weapon Josh Alexander. This is a match that like I said, if you know these guys, they can go. They have the work rate in them. They're able to do a lot of things, and I'm gonna give this to Josh Alexander. I think he takes it. I just think his stamina's a little bit better, and he outworks AJ Styles and gets the 2 pins. It goes to 3, obviously, because you want to extend it out. You want to give the people a show, and 2 out of 3, Josh Alexander takes up that 3rd count and wins the match. And my last one is it's my main event. It's a steel cage match, but the classic blue steel cage match. The ones with the big old rebars, the ones that really fucking hurt. It wasn't a chain link fence. The ones that really hurt. And this is Jacob Fatu versus Kenny Omega. 2 guys, one probably considered one of the best wrestlers alive today, and a guy who I'll steal his line: all gas, no brakes. This guy can do a lot of things that you wouldn't think he could do. He's almost like a younger version of Samoa Joe. He can just fucking go. At the end of this match, I think Jacob Fatu is just a little more aggressive and picks up the pinfall. So that's my match. That's my match card.
So knowing that you had a Texas theme or San Antonio theme going, did you not have a match in the Riverwalk, or did you plan a match on or maybe a match on Presa Street or Cherry Street?
I kept it enclosed into the Alamo itself. I could have incorporated maybe the Lone Star Brawl into the River Center, into the river, but I kept it in house, nice and tight. Keep it snug.
You don't want to pull an old WCW and do it in the middle of River Center Mall?
That would have been badass, right? The world and Mall of Americas. That would have been badass, right? That would have been cool. I mean, that's good. Kind of could have done it. I could have done it, but I'll stick with the Alamo. Keep a theme. It's called Battle at the Alamo. So that's what it is. Any questions?
Questions? No. But do I want to watch it? Sure. I want to see how Alamo you can really get.
It's going to be very alimony.
Yeah.
So much so that everyone who owes back child support is getting arrested because it was a fake show to arrest people who were back taxed on their child support.
The Adam Cole Hangman Page match really has my attention. I'd love to see what kind of things they could get into that death match.
Absolutely.
You are right. Adam Cole has not been showcased enough because he is a showstopper, should we say, like his big mentor,
San Antonio's own
Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. And not only does he mimic and gimmick what he does, but he also has a look to him that does shine up like he is either related or is like a next generation Shawn Michaels, and he can do a lot of that. So it'd be nice to see him pull out the show stopping on that.
Nice. Draven, any questions?
No
Or any
questions,
any thoughts? Any thoughts? Not questions, but
yeah. So the Josh Alexander AJ Styles match, that one stands out to me. I think Josh Alexander's a sleeper when it comes to kind of some of the best guys in the world right now working. I think he would put on a crazy good match with AJ Styles. I think the Kenny Omega Jacob Fatu one is good. That would be really fun because I think AJ could take a lot of punishment, and I think he could really put Jacob Fatu over. And I keep joking around how Jacob Fatu's the guy where everyone's too scared to tell him that wrestling isn't real. That's Jacob Fatu, man. The man's terrifying. So I think that's a good spot for him in the main event in a steel cage, which is terrifying. I think that's like where he probably should be, is inside of a cage. But like,
I don't know if you're old enough to remember the blue cage. That was a tough cage.
I don't think I was. Yeah, I don't think I know of it, but I don't think I was around like to actually see it or remember seeing it live or anything like that. So, but I think that was really cool to bring back the actual bars, cage. You know what I mean? Like that one must have been rough, especially for like guys like Flair and everything who were like working like 300 days a year, all around the world, and always putting on the main event matches, which a lot of times included that cage.
And having to throw their bodies against those pipes.
Exactly.
The last match that actually happened in that style cage was Valentine's Day Massacre match, Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold, with the debut of the Big Show, Paul White. So
didn't he go in there and rip it apart?
He ripped the fucking cage out and beat the shit out of Stone Cold. So, but hey, that was my card, guys. Now,
that's what's up.
Fernando, present your card, sir.
Thank you, random.org, for making me last, jerks. So my wrestling company named Primal Rage Wrestling, and we are presenting to you River City Ramp. I cannot speak today. I am still flustered about what happened this past weekend and week of everything going on. Let's try this again. Primal Rage Wrestling presents River City Rampage. But by the end of my pay-per-view, it's going to be called Repo Mania, and you'll see why.
Nice.
My first match. These are basically all championship matches.
I like it.
There is one stipulation on one of the matches, but they're all championship matches, and I believe the stars that are in this we're fighting for their title belts back, hence the Repo Mania gimmick. Okada versus LA Knight. They are fighting for the television championship. Current champion for this match is LA Knight. They fight a good bout, but the winner comes out on top and reclaims his belt back, and that's the Rainmaker Okada.
Nice.
My next match on the bill is Tiffany Stratton versus Jamie Hayter for the International Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton is the current champ, and fighting for and winning and taking back her championship is Jamie Hayter over Stratton. Next match on the bill, Seth Rollins versus Will Ospreay. Seth Rollins is the current international champion, and Ospreay is fighting for his championship belt back. They get into a slobber knocker. Ospreay comes out on top and reclaims his international championship. My next match on the bill is the my other women's match, Mariah May versus Liv Morgan for the Women's Primal Rage Championship. Mariah May is the current champion, and they go through a battle itself. Liv Morgan comes out on top as the new Women's Primal Rage champion. And last but not least, the headliner card, Zack Sabre Jr. versus CM Punk in a 2 out of 3 falls for the Men's Primal Rage Championship. And a battle it is because they go, but he made him earn this championship. Zack Sabre Jr. loses to CM Punk, and Punk winning the Primal Rage Championship,
Nice.
and soon after retires.
Retires champ. Retires champ.
Retires as champ.
Nice.
But his slogan as Repo Mania, because a lot of these were former champions winning their belts back from the current champs.
Nice, nice. I actually enjoyed the women's cards. I thought it was a nice matchup, and I like the twist of it being a Night of Champions style esque pay-per-view, and I like the repo at the end. Your announcers hit that. It's Repo Mania or whatever they fucking say, because it is it is a night where every title, I believe, except for one, changes hands, right? Or they all change hands, right?
They all changed hands.
Nice. So they all change hands, and you get 5 championships on the card. That's a stat card, and I like the LA Knight one. I thought that was a good one. I would like to see that match. I would put my money on the LA Knight one and the Liv and Mariah May one. I would pay money to see those 2 matches specifically. I think Mariah May and Liv Morgan together, that's a match I'd like to see. They have similar personalities.
They both are powerhouses in their own way, where they will take the beatings.
They'll take the beatings for sure.
They will take the beatings. So
nice. Well,
what you got, Draven? What's your opinion?
Yeah, I the ones that stand out to me is the Rollins and Ospreay one. That one is, I think that one would be impressive. I would really like to see Ospreay kind of come off of like the high flying a little bit and show what he can do between the ropes, because we know he could really compete with Seth Rollins, on the mat, and I think that would be like an amazing match. The other one is that Liv Morgan and Mariah May. I like that too. I've slowly become a Liv Morgan fan. I think she's a workhorse. I think she deserves a lot more credit for her, like kind of putting the division on her back a little bit, or one of the ones putting the division on her back. And then Mariah May just kind of coming out of nowhere, really, like I've talked about it before, like to other people, but Mariah May is so cool because started as like a cosplayer on Instagram or whatever, and used to just dress up as a wrestler, come up to the shows or whatever. Got so interested in it that she trained to wrestle, and then made her way through Japan, like the hardest place to make it as a wrestler in Japan, and she earned the respect of all those people, and I think she's earned her place. So that match would be amazing too. So that's an awesome card.
That's a great card. Draven, you want to just run back those matches? You don't have to say who won. Just do your one more time for the people, your company name, your pay-per-view name, and the match cards.
Yeah. So the name of my company is Doom Wrestling Federation. The name of my pay-per-view is Overkill. For the opening match, I had MJF versus Braun Breaker, with the winner being MJF. The next match I had was an Iron Woman match, and it was Asuka versus Toni Storm. Timeless Toni Storm will be victorious in that one. Next one, I had the OTC Roman Reigns versus Takeshita, with the OTC being the winner of that one. And I had a Falls Count Anywhere match between Penta and Tommaso Ciampa, with Tommaso Ciampa being the unexpected winner of that one. And then my main event was Gunther versus Obafemi in a crazy big meaty match, and the winner of that one was Gunther.
Nice. My card, Lone Star Wrestling presents Battle at the Alamo. First match, the Lone Star Brawl, no holds bar match. Kevin Owens versus Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland takes that match. A bull rope match between Nick Nemeth and The Miz. The Miz comes out on top on that one. A Texas death match. It's the Adams versus the Adam. Adam Cole, baby, versus Adam Hangman Page. And Adam Cole takes that one. The work rate match, 2 out of 3 falls. AJ Styles versus Josh Alexander. The walking weapon takes that. Josh Alexander wins that one. And the main event, my steel cage match, Jacob Fatu versus Kenny Omega. Jacob Fatu comes out on top with a classic steel cage match. Burn.
Primal Rage Wrestling presents River City Rampage. Okada versus LA Knight for the TV Championship. Okada on top. Tiffany Stratton versus Jamie Hayter for the International Women's Championship. Jamie Hayter on top. Seth Rollins versus Will Ospreay for the International Championship. Will Ospreay on top. Mariah May versus Liv Morgan for the Women's Primal Rage Championship. Liv Morgan on top. And the top of the card, Zack Sabre Jr. versus CM Punk in a 2 out of 3 falls for the Men's Primal Rage Championship. CM Punk is on top.
Nice, nice. I think we presented 3 strong cards with their own unique matches. Hey, what do you think about this little game we had?
I think it was a whole lot of fun. I like the opportunity to be creative and to kind of think of like these different fantasy scenarios if the companies were able to all be one conglomerate. Picking from any roster, creating something from scratch. That was a lot of fun.
Nice, nice.
To be able to showcase different stars from different places and put them all in their own perspective, knowing how people have already seen them portray them and show them off, and to have the pen in your hand to write your story, to write how you feel about it. It's just no better feeling.
I think I can try to speak for all 3 of us is as wrestling fans, we always like the fantasy book. And we always wished, there's just going to be this, maybe one day, this crazy forbidden door where this actually does happen. And right now there is a little bit of it happening, NXT and TNA, but maybe one day down the line, AEW might open their doors. Hey, who knows, right? We can all wish, hope, and fantasize what could happen, but I think this is a nice way to show our wrestling fandom on really making our own stories with these stars from all over, and seeing who comes out on top, because these matches would all be bangers. Like, it'd be amazing to see any of these matches, even if it was one out of each one of our cards one day down the line. It'd just be pretty awesome. And I look forward to more wrestling, because this is the beauty of wrestling. You just never know. And you got a little bit of that this past weekend. You never know. And hey, this coming Saturday, AEW has their, is it called Revolution pay-per-view? Who knows what's going to happen at this pay-per-view? So again, I'm looking forward to having a little more of these days, having hopefully our Make-A-Wish friend come back on, and if he'd like to come and shoot the shit with us, a little more wrestling, a little more games, and go from there. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, Draven, but I appreciate you coming on and booking with us and having a good time talking wrestling.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to come on. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. I always love talking wrestling. Love talking wrestling with other big wrestling fans. So you never know. I may make a run in.
There you go.
One of these shows. Keep the listeners guessing.
There you go. Well, again, we appreciate you tuning in live. Well, I'll say tuning in. I keep on saying live. I don't know why. I keep on tuning in for another Beyond the Ropes episodic episode.
BTR.
There you go. I'm Randizzle. That guy.
Relapse.
I'm Draven.
Just
Draven. Hit a phenomenal forearm on that like and follow, subscribe button on Instagram, Facebook. Well, maybe not Facebook yet. YouTube, Spotify, Twitch, iTunes, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast needs. We appreciate you tuning in, and stay tuned for more stories, more violence.